Dear students, many times in our life we have to make a choice or take a decision by ourselves. For example, as a child, you have to choose a yellow car or a red car as a toy. Then you have to choose whether to play PUBG or revise the lessons at the weekend. You have to choose whether to cheat in the exam or not to cheat in the exam. You have to choose science stream or commerce or art stream. When you become an adult, by that time you have to choose a profession as a doctor or an architect. Yes, whether to choose this girl or that girl as your life partner. So, dear children, at the end, you will have to decide yourself. After taking one decision, you can't change into another. So, dear children, we are going to see this dilemma in the form of a poem which happened in one's life. The name of the poem is Road Not Taken, and it is written by the famous poet Robert Frost. Let's watch a video presentation. Let's click on the ball. Please listen.
Pearls of Wisdom. The Road Not Taken by Robert Frost. Two roads diverged in a yellow wood, and sorry I could not travel both, and be one traveler. Long I stood, and looked down one as far as I could, to where it bent in the undergrowth. Then took the other as just as fair, and having perhaps the better claim, because it was grassy and wanted wear. Though as for that the passing there had worn them really about the same, and both that morning equally lay, in leaves no step had trodden black. Oh, I kept the first for another day, yet knowing how way leads on to way, I doubted if I should ever come back. I shall be telling this with a sigh, somewhere ages and ages hence. Two roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less travelled by, and that has made all the difference.
Okay, now let's watch some information about the poet now. Now let's watch the information about the poet Robert Lee Frost. Robert Lee Frost. He was an American poet. His work was initially published in England before it was published in America. He is highly regarded for his realistic depictions of rural life and his command of American colloquial speech. Frost was honored frequently during his lifetime, receiving 4 Pulitzer Prizes for poetry. He became one of America's rare public literary figures, almost an artistic institution. He was awarded the Congressional Gold Medal in 1960 for his poetical works. You might have read the poetry Stopping by Woods on a Snowy Evening. These are all written by this famous poet, Robert Frost. Now, I'm going to start with the stanza-wise explanation of the poem. Okay. Let's talk about the first stanza. Stanza 1. On the road of life, the speaker arrives at a point where he must decide which one of two equally appealing choices is the better one. He examines one choice as the best he can, but the future prevents him from seeing where it leads. So, when the poet sees the two diverging roads, he has to make a choice to select one. Then, second stanza, the speaker selects a road that appears at first glance to be less worn and therefore less traveled. This selection suggests that he has an independent spirit and does not wish to follow the crowd. After a moment, he concludes that both the roads are about equally worn. Now, let's come back to the third stanza. Leaves cover both roads equally. Both the roads are covered with leaves. No one on this morning has yet taken either road, or the leaves lie undisturbed. The speaker remains committed to his decision to take the road he had previously selected, saying that he will save the other road for another day. He observes, however, that he probably will never pass this way again and thus will never have an opportunity to take the other road. Now let's have the explanation of stanza 4. In years to come, the speaker says he will be telling others about the choice he made. While doing so, he will sigh either with relief that he made the right choice, or with regret that he made the wrong choice. Whether right or wrong, the choice will have had a significant impact on his life. Now let's talk about the literary devices used in the poetry. First, we'll talk about the rhyme scheme of the poem. Okay, the two roads diverge in a yellow wood. Please select the rhyming words at the end. Wood. What will be rhyming with the word wood? Wood, stood, could. So three words are having the same sound, ending with the same sound. We can write A near to wood, and both is not rhyming with this, so we can write B. Stood, again it is rhyming with wood, so write first one A, second one B, third one A, fourth line it will be A again, and both and undergrowth they are the same rhyming word, so we can write B again. A B A B. That will be A B A B. Again, if you take this next stanza also, see this one. Fair, where, there, claim, same. You can see the same pattern. Lay, day, way, black, back. Again, same pattern. Sigh, I, by. Next one, hence, difference. So the rhyming scheme is throughout the poem. You can see the rhyming scheme as A B A B. Again, repetition of these things in all four stanzas. Now see the symbolism used in this poem. Two roads which represents two or more choices in our life. Next one, the alliteration. Wanted, where. Spell the W, the V sound is repeated. Wanted, where. V, it is repeated. So it is, the figure of speech is alliteration. Again, alliteration comes here. First four, f sound is repeated. F. Next, though, that, the. All three comes together in this line. Though, the. Again, example of alliteration. Now repetition. Ages is the word ages that is repeated. The word ages is repeated. And also the two words diverge in a wood, that is also repeated. So it is repetition. So these are the figures of speech used over here and also the rhyme scheme. Now let's come back to the poetry again, and I am going to show you the summary through representation again. We are going to sum up the poetry with the meaning. I want all of you to watch this.
In this media, you will learn about the explanation of the poem, The Road Not Taken. In this poem, the narrator describes himself as a traveler. While traveling on the road of life, he comes to a point where the road splits into two paths. These two paths indicate the choices that come in one's life. One of them is the easiest option, whereas the other option is comparatively difficult. The narrator chooses the toughest option of the two and decides to try the easiest option some other day. Later, he doubts if he should return back and choose the easiest one. But at the end of his travel, and years later, he remembers the choice he made. He concludes that the choice he made has changed his life. Thus, you have learned the explanation of the poem, The Road Not Taken.
Okay, children. So life is all about making choices, right? So today we have learned the poem The Road Not Taken, and I want you to read the poetry, recite the poetry, and write down the stanza wise explanation in your notebook. Thank you.